Power up.
Ho ho.
Okay, let's do it.
Ooh, a little bit of a late start for me. But it is Tuesday, 7/11. It is July 11th, 2023. Turn on the Elgato there, even though the music's kind of loud. I actually need to probably turn that down a little bit more.
No, my bottom big.
Welcome in, Nana Ant and Darkstar. You guys are having a good Tuesday. Yeah, let me turn the music down. I actually have it kind of low, but I always felt like the music in this game's a little high. I'll save there. And notice I have a time chart, although I might actually have to. I'll have to figure out how that looks in the in-game, because I have a time chart there. It's probably actually too. What do I have that set to? Opacity. Oh, way too low. I want it a little bit that way. That way you can actually see it. I gotta resize that real quick too. But yeah, we're heading back into train stuff tonight. I haven't fired this up in a while. I was looking at recently. I'm like, oh yeah, I have most of the trophies for this, and I've finished off some of the really difficult stuff, or things I was like, I don't know what the hell this means. So, there we go. So, I went back and looked at it, and I was like, oh hey, I don't have a whole lot technically left to do. I probably have a little bit of work ahead of me, but it's not too bad. So right now, one of the ones that I was having issues with for a long time was going through the Momiji Tunnel. On the Kurama line going up and down, you go through, it's called a tunnel, but you're just going through like a corridor on the track. And it's surrounded by Momiji, maple trees. I think Momiji is maple. But you can see it, literally that's the background here, is going through the tunnel. Is it loud? See, and I even turned it down. Let me turn down the music even more. Because I'm pretty close to the mic, but the music in this game is like loud. There we go. Because at 50, it's loud. Like I even have to know that I gotta turn my TV down a good bit to make sure that it also doesn't bleed over into the microphone. Vertically. There we go. See how that looks in game with the timetable there. Because I at least finally went back and said, okay, I need to actually put the average speeds down for sections, so I know what the fuck to do. But yeah, going through the Momiji Tunnel, you can do that in the Kurama line. Going both up to the Kurama station, you see the other ones like Kibun Neguchi to Kurama, and then going back down. It said you had to do it at like 30 kilometers an hour, and it's like trying to stick at 30 exactly is exceptionally difficult because you're always having to fluctuate the acceleration on and off, which is not fun. But I eventually looked it up and said, oh no, if you're between like 27 to 30, and you don't go over 30 at any point when you go through the corridor, you'll pop those trophies just fine. Everything else is pretty much done. Really, I need to do section mode. I got to drive 100 total sections, which I'm already kind of working on anyways, because I need to get all gold medals on all the sections. That's a good thing to go back to. I have like 12 of those to do. So we'll be working on that tonight. Completing all the books, that actually requires me to go back through in full line mode. And the maximum rank on those is Aiden Master. I'll even show that to you. Like, I have the last book. I've had pauses recording here for no apparent reason. Like, all this, I think, is done. No, this was what I had to unlock. And 5's the maximum that you can earn anyways in terms of Aiden Master. So as long as you hit Aiden Master on all 5 of the different lines, because you either go the Kurama line, which goes all the way up the mountain to Mount Kurama, or you take the other line, you go up to Mount Hiei, that's the Azon line. That one, back and forth, so it's 5 total lines, because you either go up or down, and then there's one where you go up the mountain, even though they refer to it, I think, as that's the down line, because you start at the lower station. I don't know. But there's 5 total ones, so as long as you master those. I'm going to worry about doing the full lines first, because that's, or later, because it takes a little bit longer. And I need to actually remember how to play this game. So we're just going to work on section mode for right now. Yeah, see, this is considered the down line, but you're starting... You would think, okay, you're going down the mountain. It's like, no, you're technically starting at the lowest point. Demachi Yanagi, going up to Kurama. Then it's backwards when you go back. Yeah, it's five lines. I've done like 2 of those already in full line mode. And as far as I remember, I believe I have gotten gold or better on everything in the A's online. Yeah. S-A-S-A-S-A-S-A-A. Okay. I was there. That is S-S-A-S-A-B. Oh, there's 2 B's here. Okay. So we'll start here. Actually, you know what? We'll finish off one of these other ones, and then we'll come back down to here, because we got to kind of trade off. What about here? Did I have any B's? Okay, so I don't have to worry about summertime Kurama line down. We get the green leaves. We'll work on this, then we'll go back down here, and then we'll come back up to here. They're all going to be different anyways, and even when you're going down the mountain, all the speeds, you can see the speeds off to the side. Yeah, it's a big... hold on, let me grab you something real quick. Shit. That's gonna... Let me hide that for a second, because I'm gonna have to change windows, and it's gonna look weird. No. No. Running these trains, shit. Running these trains compared to this, like, they have simulators. Let's see if I can find it on here. Because the company that does the Japan Rail Simulator that's available on Steam right now, let me find that one too. Japan Rail. I own that and I haven't actually gone back to it yet because like most of the lines, unfortunately, are fucking DLC and they're expensive. You're looking at like 30, 40 bucks to access that line. Like I know this one, this is the JR East Train Simulator. Ongaku-kan develops that, and they actually have done a bunch of train sims in the past, but they also have developed a full-scale simulator for drivers to train on, so you can get something that... There's something out there in the world that is very, very hands-on, but the company here, Sonic Powered, why do they not have that here? Meitetsu. Okay. That doesn't even... excluded based on your preferences. Why would you exclude anything? Why would... Searching that doesn't make any sense. But this company has done a bunch. Sonic Powered has done a bunch of simulators in this style. It's all live action footage. It's all filmed, and then you have different overlays on top of that. And this one here, operating the Meitetsu line, I do have the full version on Switch. Because this one's actually really cheap, but it doesn't have as much content. And I haven't gotten around to really diving into it. But it does support the Switch controller that I bought, the Mascon, that works for Denshi Go, so that's cool. And it also works on the PC version too. And they released a number of other versions. They've done a bunch of small lines as games. But A, they're expensive. B, the rest of them, just like with operating the Meitetsu line on Steam, have not been localized in English. This is the only one. And there are definitely a lot of train simulators out there in the world. Thank goodness. I don't think that's going to block too much. Okay, so our first one is Iwakura to Kino. Have this over here. Iwakura to Kino is 35 average. I usually go a little bit under average. Because if you go too fast, you'll arrive too early. Makes it a little bit harder to stop. And sometimes even wasting time, you can Ooh, that is actually really loud. Hold on. I cannot... Oh, I can't adjust game settings. Let me turn all of that down. Keep the announcer kind of high. Ambient, we'll do like 20. SFX, we'll do like 25. Because it can be a little... Even at 50, it's like, oh my god, it's really loud. Okay, is that not autosave? Guess not. Tell me if it's a bit too loud. Oop. And I actually need to try again, because I'm not paying attention. Let's see. Full brakes, release brakes, max speed. I'm going to probably be hopping back and forth into this screen quite often as I get my bearings again. Okay. Door light, wait for door light, there we go. So this was 35. Once it's get up to 35, I'm not going to keep it at that. Once it tells me to hit speed, I'm already going downhill anyways, so. Keep the average. I don't even have power on right now because we're just being carried by the momentum. We'll slow down in the curve. A little bit lower. We're not going very far. You're moving too slow. Yeah, that's fine. We'll tell you that a lot. Be like, oh, you're not going fast enough. I'm like, yeah, if I get to the station, I can slow down, you know, as fast as I need to. It's not like we're going terribly far. We have 3 minutes. Actually, we have like 1:20 to get there, but we're... Oops. So yeah, some of these might take a few tries. I'm not aiming to get S. I at least need an A rank. That's the gold. I think that's good enough to get what I need. That's it, we're under 100 meters. I can drop speed even more. I don't want to come in too fast, but you also don't want to come in too slow. Yeah, I'm coming in too fast as far as I'm concerned. Let's bring it in nice and easy. That's too far. Time I'm not worried about. I think I'm too far outside to... Alright. I'll take A rank. I was like, I think I'm too far away. 55 centimeters is... You get the S rank being under 50, and I think those change... Well, those stay the same no matter what. You don't have to worry about that. No penalties because I don't do a lot of weird shit, and I keep to the speed limit. Getting within, and actually thinking it gives 3 seconds, like usually if you're a little bit under or over. There are harder difficulties, if I remember correctly, that you can shoot for. I haven't really tried those. Because one of the nice parts about this is I feel like it's a little bit more lenient in terms of hitting those marks. You can make it harder, but otherwise it's not like Denshi to Go where it's an arcade game. And you really need to hit some specific shit. Although I'd say later Densha to Go games are significantly easier than playing like the original or 2. Those are very strict, and they don't give you a whole lot of stuff on screen to go, hey, you should go this fast, or, you know, here's stuff that's clearly marked on screen. It's like, this is going to trigger if you go too fast, or you're going too slow, or, you know, when you need to hit the station, here's how far, stuff like that. All right. So we did Iwakura to Kino. This is Kino to Kyoto. Seikadai Mae. That is 30 kilometers an hour as the average. And I stopped way too early last time. And that's what happens when you let the game dictate how fast you need to go. Square with release brakes. Yeah, like it all kind of makes sense once you can wrap your head around it. So I'll usually let off brakes, maximum throttle, and then kind of go from there. feather that sucker along the way. Just waiting for us to hit like downhill, but we're still going uphill. You're moving too slow. No, that's fine. We're good. In fact, since it's just going to hold there, I don't even have to feather it right now. It's just going to hold at like 28. And it's dropped a little bit. Use the horn too much. Oh, this train ain't get. I wonder how many people might actually use it as a commuter. It's more of a this very small line. Still going uphill? Yeah. I'll just glide in. Fuck it. If we drop speed too much, we'll increase it. We're coming in kind of fast anyways. Let's see. The brake's still on. Alright. I want to arrive too early. Within 3 seconds? Yeah. Boom. It gave me, I was 1 second late, which sucks because I was actually on time. Because that was a perfect stop. I'll take it. I also keep forgetting that the controller gives me a lot of sounds. I'm like hearing the sounds a lot, except the TV's really low. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't think I've ever gotten a perfect, like a 0-0, boom. That's a little bit harder to time. That's a big thing in Densha to Go as well. Is hitting like a 0-0. Like arriving on time, arriving at a perfect stop, and that's a much harder game to make a perfect stop at. Because these trains, since it's a one-man car, they're, you know, it's controlled by one guy. It might be 2 cars maximum. There's not a whole lot going on. It's more of a, you know, kind of a small line, lots of history, mainly for tourists now, local and international. So you're not going fast. You can fucking control these so much easier, as opposed to like Yamanote line, where you're probably doing, you know, 50 to 70 kilometers an hour at minimum, and they're going to be generally 8 to 10 car configurations. And if it's an older line with a lot of people on it, those cars are really heavy by themselves. Then you count people making a full stop and getting it like right on the money. That's a little bit tougher. Okay. Although since I'm going line to line, I'm trying to think if some of this would actually count if I was doing it, but I have to do section mode ones anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it's 30 for this. Making sure that I have all this stuff correct too. Yeah, it was 30 for both sections. And Niken Chaya. Steep curve. It was way early last time and a little bit too far ahead. So yeah, if you hear anything, it's probably my controller making the sounds. So 30, 45 is our maximum right now. Actually, it says don't go over. Looks like 50 is the maximum, and 45 is probably not where you want to go over anyways. Yeah, 45 was the restriction. Sadly, I did not have enough time when I was in Kyoto earlier part of the year. I really wanted to have, like, I would have needed like a whole day or two. Because I know where this line's at. Not hard to get to. And if you take like the Azon line up to Mount Hiei, it's not long. But if you wanted to do, you know, both ways, up and down, you would need a decent amount of time. And now with tourism being pretty much back in full swing, it's going to be a lot harder to do some of this stuff and not just get swamped by people. Shit. Could be fine. Should be good enough for A. That's good enough for an S. I'll take it. Yeah, I wish there was a better way in-game to track. So it'll show you how many medals you have, but it's kind of like, okay, well, yeah, how many times have I actually, like, played a section? Or how many sections have I played total? So he wants you to play 100 of them. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'll do that. Alright, so Kibu Neguchi to Kurama, 1.2 kilometers, 31 kilometers an hour average speed. Move towards the last stop, Kurama Station. Driving skills are required for this section as it's an uphill gradient of 50% per mille. The translations in this are kind of bad. The railroad is very curvy. There's a speed limit of 25 near the railway switch near Kurama Station, and at some points there's speed limits of 10 and 15. It's probably why... Oh, no, I was still fucking 25 seconds early. Mind the stopping position as it's a little bit more in front than usual. Much further up. Alright. Is it 31? Yeah. You probably won't even need that. I'm not gonna tell this train how to live my life. We're definitely gonna need power. Going up this fucking hillside. I think there's workers along this section too. It'd be nice to see some more of these for lines I'm more familiar with, but that's why I wanted to pick up some of the newer releases while I was over there, but they were like 7,000-8,000 yen. They're kind of expensive. Especially for Switch games. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice. They'd probably play just fine on Switch and they look fine. But I was like, I don't know about those prices, man. Bring that speed down a little bit. Roughly around 30-ish. I'm moving too slowly. The fuck I am. Honk the horn a lot, wake up people in their homes. Motherfucker. Oh, I mean, this is Kyoto, yeah. This is going up into the mountains. Like, once you get outside of Daimachi Yanagi Station, you're kind of leaving the rest of the city behind. Oop, you need to bring that down. Over around 20. 25 is a cutoff. It's eventually going to shove us lower. Oop, turn off the Moscon. Or turn off the power. Yeah, see, now we're going even lower. Yeah, you get those just in general. Ooh, I hope we got enough time. We should. 20 seconds? Yeah. Bring that down. Too far. And a little too early. But yeah, when you get into certain areas, just in Japan in general, like I've seen some industrial areas where I'm just like, people are still working out of these areas, but there's lots of, rusted out shit and everything. And I'm like, I get it. It's, it's an island nation and it gets humid as fuck. So metallic stuff. Like if you live in an onsen town, electronics just fucking break after a while and your car gets fucked up because it's just, there's sulfur and there's everything else in the air. But yeah, when you get up into the mountains, you'll see a lot of shit that just kind of gets left there. And that's definitely a trend. You'll see schools, homes, businesses where the owners just don't care and they're not penalized for just leaving shit like that, or they're dead and who knows who fucking owns it now. So it's just kind of how it is. All right, so that is gold at the very least, plus some rainbows. S ranks on most of that stuff. We already checked this one, and A's Online up was all finished up. Okay, so we're gonna go into the A's on down line. We had a couple of them in here. Yeah, so you can even look at the map there. Once you get past Takaragaike, that's when it switches, and you can see how many more stops are going up the mountain to Kurama. This one is significantly shorter. All right, perfect stopping position on this one, but 16 seconds early, so that gave me a B ranking, which kind of lame, but all right. Just over half a kilometer, 33 kilometers an hour average speed, which means we're going to do that about 30. It's also helpful having all these average speeds when you do the full line mode, because you can't check these things in the menu. You just go full. It's full line. No choice. This is a different train on this route too. So you got a time bonus for honking at the worker. Time bonus. Definitely not going up to fucking 35. We don't need to go that fast. These one-man trains are cool. They're some of my favorites. And they're usually older trains too. That's why I had like a nice affinity for the streetcars that go through Hiroshima. That city though won me over a lot anyways. It's just a lovely place. It's beautiful. Lots more stuff to go check out there whenever I could make it back that way. With the streetcars, because you'll see a good mixture of you'll see a good mixture of we're coming in really early. There'll be older streetcars, like there are some, I think, from the 40s that survived the atomic bombing that I believe are still in service. But then you'll have a lot of newer ones that they've started rotating in. And they function more like buses, I feel like, but lots of stops for them. That's right. This has a much different braking system. We're coming in kind of late. Oh yeah. We're gonna have to restart that one. I was hanging back way too far. You can definitely tell with the streetcars to how old some of them are. And it's the same thing with like big trains as well. Like I think it was the Hanshin line. I think it was the one I took from my Airbnb in Osaka to Koshien Stadium. They were clearly older trains, and you can feel them when they take off, when they stop. Like you can feel the weight against your body. It's really quite noticeable. Whereas when you get onto some of the newer trains, the newer cars, how much smoother they are. They're not as heavy, and just overall, the construction's quite different. All right, so it's gonna take longer because I'm coming in kind of fast now. I need more time. That should be fine. Probably what threw me off on this one was how different it is. That's better. That's within tolerances, so should be good. Yep. Good enough test, right? It was also fun too. If you're on a specific line all the time, you're like, okay, how old's this train? How long's this one been in service? Odakyu in particular, since I was taking that like the last few weeks I was there, I was seeing the breadth of what they still had in their livery. And trains that are as old as me and stuff that's maybe been in service 2-3 years. And you can tell right away once you step onto the train, you look at it from the outside, you feel it in motion. I was like, man, I like these old trains. They're really cool looking. I love the history. They're not going to be around much longer either. And you hope that they're going to actually like be used somewhere else, or they'll be on display. It's a nice part about the Romance Car Museum is that you get to see a lot of trains that's like, these cars are now preserved. You can step onto them. You can sit, probably can't sit down on a lot of them, but you can at least kind of, you get the feeling of these older cars. Because a lot of them are long out of service. And they don't run onto that anymore. And some of them are going to join later on. They'll probably have to expand the facility and be like, look, we need more space. We got to fit more trains in here. But I really like the newer ones because I like how sleek they are. I like how comfortable they are. How? 1.1 meters. I fucked that stop up completely. Let's see, 1.2 kilometers from Miyake Hachiman to Yasehie Zanguchi. 34 for the average speed. Yasehie Zanguchi Station is the last stop of the Eizon line. A gradual curve makes for a clear view, but it is hard to keep speed with those uphill gradients. Check the speed meter regularly because there are several speed limits near the station. Almost there. Yeah, the Hiei line, that has a particular look to it as well. It's a very attractive train. Ah! Alright, so 34, we'll keep it between 30 and 35. We'll at least get the speed. And drop that. Let it do its thing. Yeah, like even, these are also, some of them I think have been updated and they keep the old style controls because trains don't use these control types anymore. Unless you're using the older streetcars or you're just running slightly older trains and they haven't swapped out those systems. Even some of the Odakyu, you can tell how old the trains are, but you can also see that they have like literally popped out the entire control system in a lot of the older electronics, and it probably works on the same hookups, and they would have had to redo maybe some rewiring. But they can just pop the new panels into there and you're ready to go. Because now it's pretty much one system. Like you can usually pull the master control downward and accelerate that way, and then you have a neutral position, and then you can pop it upward to hit the brakes. And even the Zuiki Moscon controller that I have, that's how it's set up. There we go. I know I can see him. Alright, we have just under a minute to get there. We're gonna have to slow down. 25. See how much further it needs us to slow down beyond this point. I don't see the signage yet. Never mind, I see it. Continue coming to the station. Now, whether or not they actually feather the throttle this much, I have no idea.
Please watch your step when you leave the train.
Fucking biff that hard. I don't know if that's good enough for A. I might have to do that again. That's good enough for A. All right, I'll take it. Better stop. Yeah, because I was coming in really fast because I was like, oh shit, I'm going to run out of time. No, we're good on that. All right, so that's all golds there. So the last place I have to get golds on, I don't remember how many I needed, was here on the up line for Kurama. 1, 2, 3. So the first 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so 6 of those. A lot of these Bs would have been when I first got this game a few years ago. And just kind of getting used to stuff. So we're heading down, and all the speeds change on this. Actually, just realized I didn't change over the what I was looking at here. Can I even scroll that on here? Oh, I can. They do have all the speeds there for the A's Online sections too. That'll come in handy more, as I said, with the full line runs that I'm going to have to do eventually. Alright, so 33 average. We're going downhill. As opposed to the outbound line, the 50% gradient is downhill. It's easy to speed here, so use the brakes wisely. Which means we need to take it kind of slow. We won't need a lot of throttle until once we're out of the station. We're going to be potentially hauling way too much ass. 33 on that, yeah. The fuck on the train? Technically, we're leaving. This is the start of the line going down. So, takes a little bit longer. And, we're good. Right now. Need some of that. Can't go over 40. That's alright. Because we're not going over 40. Just realized we passed people back there. Oops. Sorry, guys. Oops. Whoa. Wrong direction. I'm trying to turn the brakes off and then I applied them completely. God, Square does that. Riding the brakes the whole way. Just until it kind of bottoms out a little bit. Once it levels, we'll have to maintain speed a little bit. Moving too slowly. Hey, the average is 33, buddy. Wesker! MCG, welcome, man. wants us to go at 40. I'm like, yeah, but we can't go over 40. Ooh, almost did though. Yeah, we got more than enough time. I hope. Famous last words. See, I haven't had to use much on the power. Not sure how bad riding the brakes that. Better not blow up this train. There's a bomb on that bus. Motherfucker, I still gotta go to work. A lot of people that want to get on.
Please watch your step when you leave the train.
Damn tourists. Down. Still got another 20 seconds before I have to make a full stop. Coast it in. Off by a little bit. That's good enough for an A. That's good enough for an S. I'll take it. No, we gotta have a bullet train to blow up. That was a movie with Sonny Chiba. He was driving a train. Ken Takakura was gonna blow up the train. Kibu Neguchi to Ninose, and Ninose to Ichihara. And then we can jump down a few. It's 31 for the average. Tricky curves and steep downhill gradients do not end here. Keep track of the current speed and speed limits, as trains tend to make too much speed while descending. Try to get to the station on time and in position. Well, that's the whole point. It's 31 for the average. We're gonna probably go a little bit slower than that. And again, we'll have to ride the fucking brakes most of the way there. Eye on that. We will drop some speed in the curve, even going downhill. Turn off the brakes. I wouldn't want to go too fast around here anyways. So many curves. This area looks like it actually just got hit by a storm, honestly, when they filmed this. What affected some stuff. I just forget the full name of the line. It's what runs through Hakone past, like, Odawara Station. One of the typhoons that had hit during 2019 had caused damage around that area, and they were working on it. Then COVID hit, so obviously that fucked things up, threw the timetable off. But they eventually did reopen it. Had a big to do about it. So it's an historical line. Oop, I need to slow down. Track switch. Whee! Those are always fun. Someone photographing us there. That happens a lot too. If you're playing this game, you'll see them every single time. Whoa. Slow it down. early. Good color scheme on that train next to us. I like that. Very good. There we go. That was definitely good enough for an S. Aha. Save that. Alright, Ninose to Ichihara. 30-mile-an-hour average, 1 kilometer. Here we make a dive through the famous Maple Tree Tunnel again. Except, this was the summer one? Yeah, so it's not going to look as good. Keep an eye on the speed and obey the traffic rules while driving downhill. On the real Azon Railway in fall, the train drives slowly through the Maple Leaf Tunnel. This way, everyone can admire the beautiful red colors. Why don't you give it a try, too? I already did that, but we're going to do it anyways. Well, plus, I think some of the more recent trains, actually, if you look down there in the loading screen, like the first train will have big open windows for that. Maintain 30. Well, we're gonna maintain lower than that. Especially when it hits us with a fucking 30 speed limit right out the gate.
Please exit from the door on the front right of the first carriage.
Oh wait, no, we're going into some fall, aren't we? This is definitely a reason I would like to go to Kyoto again in autumn. Even though I know this train's going to be fucking just packed, but it's like, nah, I got to see it at least once. We're hauling ass. Not really. If I had the brakes off, pick up a lot of speed. Thanks, traffic coming through. All my stuff is still offset for PC. Anything I say is still at least 500 milliseconds behind what's happening on screen. Oh well. We're a minute fucking early. Yeah, we gotta drop the speed on that. Not too much though. About to say, with that glare, I can't even fucking see the platform. All right, 25 seconds. Might be good enough. A little bit over, a little bit late. I think still good enough. Yeah. Good enough. Alright, so that's everything here. It's all S ranks now. So Nikenchaya to Kyoto Seikadai Mae, which is a really tough name to say. That's another 31 average. The hills become less steep, making it easier to drive. Honk the train horn at the railroad crossing to make your surroundings aware of the train and receive bonus points. Kyoto Seikadai Mae station is hard to notice from a distance, but it's positioned right after a curve. Be sure to stop the train on time. It's a pretty short distance. So do that. Inkanchaya to there, and from there to Kino. 35 for the next one. Okay, so actually it might just go directly into that. F31 to 35. Yep. Ready and go.
次は京都聖火台前です。The next station is Kyoto Seikadai Mae. Station number E12. お出口は前の車両一番前の
Also
左
afternoon.
側ドアです。
Nice and pretty.
Please exit from the door on the front left of
That's
the
all right.
first carriage.
We're going down. Oops. No, my control mixed up. Yeah, I love when people still have fireworks this late. Yeah, we're coming in. You see the station right there. That does show up pretty fast. Slow this motherfucker down.
京都聖火台前。
You don't need that much
京都
speed.
聖火台前です。
I'm always consistently surprised how fast, or how much faster now they are around here about packing up the stands that sell the Safe and Sane fireworks, because they used to feel like they were around for like a fucking month back in the day. And now, like, by at least a week afterwards, they're completely gone. There we go. Fucked up there. But we're good. Yeah, we were getting a lot. I don't know, probably about 2-3 days before everything was due to start. And of course, they don't want you setting off illegal ones here, but everybody's got fucking illegal fireworks. At this point, it's like it's more like if we find you with them, we'll do something about it. But after that, it's like, well, what are we gonna do? But they'll start setting them off at like 5 or 6. I'm like, it's not even dark. It's summer. Like around these parts, it doesn't get completely dark until like 8:30. All right. Oh, I probably could have just done the next one, like I said, but that's all right. All right, so yeah, to Kino and Kino to Iwakura, 35 and 34. So we'll do 33 about thereabouts the whole way. Let's go into the one after the other. I forgot to actually get the bonus. Oh well. I maintain 35. Don't give me a fucking average.
Station is Kino.
Yeah.
Station number E11. お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage. 携帯電話をお持ちのお
You're
客
moving
様
too
に
slow.
お願いい
I'm
た
not.
します。車内ではマナーモードに設定の上、通話はご遠慮ください。また、優先座席付近では混雑時には電
Plus, it's nice
源を
that this game doesn't really necessarily penalize you for turning the accelerator back on. Like, didn't you to Go Final when I've played that? If you kind of come to a stop and you're like, oh, I'm way too far off the mark, and you hit the accelerator again, it will penalize you if you're going for like a full combo through that part of the route. Whereas this is, they're like, yeah, they probably expect you to, hey, you're slightly off. Go ahead and pop the accelerator back on a little bit. Find that brake. Still got 30 seconds. Person watching us very intently. Doesn't seem to penalize us really for hitting emergency. That's also a no-no in Densha to go. If you hit that fucking emergency brake, you probably fucked up. Alright, so we'll continue on to the next one. It was about the same speed anyways. At some point, right? We're not going uphill still, are we? Apparently we are. Not that much of a gradient. Yeah, not much. 2 degrees. Should speed it up just a touch. The 30 seconds goes by pretty quick. Almost had a perfect. Hey, all right. Thought I had more than that. All right, that's all gold medals then. I thought I still had some B's. Covered in B's. Oh, that was the last one. Everything's at least an A or an S right now. That's good. Alright, well, then let's go ahead and scroll this over. We might as well do... I gotta work on the sections anyways. I still don't know how many I actually have to do. I'll have to look at the travel guide real quick. I think it'll kind of give me an indication, like if I have C's, it says 42, 27. So I'm assuming it'd be like 42 overall. Plus 14, which would be not that many. I know I've had to play some of these multiple times though. So I'm curious. wish you would tell me. Guess I'll just have to do it on my own. At least a little bit. But I'll go ahead and play one of the full lines. I've already done the Azon line down. I still need to do that. Let's actually go ahead and do probably the slightly harder one. Kurama line up, and this is going to be taking us... Actually, I guess we scroll back over. That'll be everything from there. Okay. I might actually need to have this up so I can actually see it. We're going to play through the whole line. So 33 for this section. Wait for everybody to get on board.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
生産電車をご利用いただきましてありがとうございます。この電車は出町柳行きです。次は木舟口です。
But ultimately, I kind of know, as I have my averages here.
This train is bound for Demachi-Yanagi. The next station is
I missed him.
Kibuneguchi.
I hit the wrong button anyways.
Station number E16. お出口は
I can at least see myself make stops. That's fine.
Please exit from the door.
I think that's I think I can do that. I think everything shows up just fine. Since we already know that if you're kind of within 3 seconds and within 3 centimeters of the stop line, you're pretty much good. You're good to go. Big speed pickup there. A sudden. The poor tunnel fucks with that camera, man. Or that tunnel fucks with the poor camera. I know they had to they went back because they made this originally for the 3DS. I think they went back and refilmed everything, but you can tell the bitrate's kind of low. I think some of the newer games have slightly better looking footage. Alright, we are 3 seconds away.
Please watch your step when you leave the
I'm coming
train.
too fast. Especially since a little bit of time. Good enough. All right. Ready and go. $31 for the average here, but it's gonna. I wonder if it hit us with a speed limit on this one.
The next station is Inose. Station number E15. この電車はワンマン電車です。後ろの車両のドアは開きません。お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです。お降りの際、乗車券、
Just hitting buttons now.
証明書、運賃は運賃箱に
Turn off
お
the
入れくだ
brakes.
さい。IC カー
coasting through the mountains,
Of
man.
the first carriage.
Feels good. Yeah, if anybody would be like, hey, do you want to drive a train? I'm like, since I'm not trained, this would probably be the easier thing to do. It was fun doing the one at the Otakimi Romance Car Museum, though. That wasn't playing it on, like, the hardest difficulty setting you could set it to. I think they were just surprised. It's like, oh, you did pretty well. I'm like, well, yeah, kind of know, somewhat. And to tell them, it's like, oh yeah, no, I play Densha to Go at home. So, like, I got a pretty good feeling about it. Speed limit goes away. I want you to come in doing 25, less than 25. Oh, yeah, I need to fucking slow down. I went way too hot. That probably would not have been good for the passengers on board. Dropping that much speed. No footage smoothing here, man. That sucked. I didn't like. I don't. That should be fine for an A rank, but that was not a terrific stop. Okay, so it's 30 through here. For this one, hits you with a 30 out the gate.
The next station is Ichihara. Station number E4.
So like, go up to 30. By the way, speed limit of 30. Don't go over.
Please exit from the door on the front right of the
We're gonna go
first
clear on
carriage.
the bridge. Yeah, there's a sign we passed by there. Good look at the tunnel. Pretty trees. Ruin the ambiance. Hold on. There we go. One more for good measure. Big downhill. On ass. So I was right with that, because I did that last time a bit too early. Or a bit too late, actually. I think I was closer to the crossing. Gotta be back over on, like, a small bridge there. It's also not consistent, either. Like, oh, we want you to... Densha to Go be like, you need to hit the horn as you go over a bridge. And then other games are like, yeah, they don't care. And if I, being on trains, I'm like, oh, we're going over your bridge. I'm like, you're gonna hit the horn? No? Alright.
Ichihara. Ichihara desu.
There we go. Speed limit of 50 coming out of the station. Perfect. Perfect. That was a perfect stop. On time, right on the nose. Figured I'd get one tonight. Wish I could have done it in section mode.
次は危険茶屋です。
That's okay though.
京都産業大学は
Alright, so we're next stop Nikenchaya.
最寄り駅です
We're going from
The
Ichihara.
next station is
Shit.
Nikenchaya. Station number
Speed. So
E30.
yeah, Ichihara. Nikenchaya, so it's 33 going
前の車
right
両
there.
一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage.
Pushing speed limit. The hell we are. We're about to do some downhill. Yeah. Should have put the distances on this spreadsheet as well. That might be helpful. Half a kilometer, yeah. You're moving too slowly. No, I'm good. We're good. Thanks anyways, game. Appreciate it. Do we have a track switch here? I don't think we did.
危険茶
No,
屋
I should be going
危険
straight.
茶屋です。
Bring that down a little bit. Nice and easy. Should be fine. Yeah. Alright, Kyoto Seikai Daimae. Seikai Daimae. 31. Right through this section is the average.
The next station is Kyoto Seikadai Mai. Station number E12. お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness, yes. That they aren't penalizing me for leaving the brakes on, then applying power. Slow that a bit too much before the platform. Pretty good. All right, Kino, 35.
The next station is Kino. Station number E11. お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage. 携帯電話をお持ちのお客様にお願いいたします。車内ではマナーモードに設定の上、通話はご遠慮ください。また、優先座席付近では混雑時には電源をお切りください。
I should have put the station numbers on the list too. Here, probably add those. Do all the announcements. I don't even hear an announcer voice, but I don't have it up loud enough to hear it. Now approaching Kino. Station number, I don't remember. The doors on the left side will open. We're coming up way... actually, I misread that. I was thinking, like, damn, we're early. I remember this one, we actually had a weird stop anyways. We watch the people slowly walk. There we go. Good enough. Alright, Iwakura, 34 in this section. The max speed in this section is 60. Trust me, we're not fucking hitting that.
Station number E10. お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the
Although when we do the free drive, that'll probably be the last trophy I do for this. So you gotta go through both lines. I don't know if in the entirety, like up and down. But at least at that point, you don't have to worry about, I think, anything. It's just, no, just drive. You're good. Which means I'll probably just haul ass through everything as fast as humanly possible. You're like, oh, how did you platinum this game? Well, by wrecking the train at the station. Theoretically, of course, the video's not going to show us that. We'll just imagine just slamming into the barricade at the end. Like they have those little pad things there, like if you have to kind of coast your way into the stop at the end of the station. It's like, yeah, just boom. Pretty sure you'd be in massive trouble. You'd be in massive shit for that. Okay, so why'd you let the train get out of control there? Well, you see, what happened was this version also has, I've talked about it way in the past. There is some, oh, now they finally blurred their faces. There is some, like, interpolation to smooth out the footage. But it doesn't, like, always work. That was almost another perfect. Alright. Hachiman Mae, 38. Haul ass through here. I think some of the sections on the Azon line, yeah, go over 40. I know. Such fast speeds.
Station number
cooking with gas. Or electricity in this case. You can hum the song Electricity by OMD to yourself. Very good. Very good track.
Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage.
It's 39 through the next section. Oops. That should be good enough, though. Yeah, Takaragaike. 39. Ready and go.
次は宝ヶ池です。The next station is Takaragaike.
No weird
Station number E06.
sections here that need us to
お出口は
slow down
前の車
immediately.
両一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage. 八瀬比叡山口方面は次の宝ヶ池でお乗り換えです。お乗り換えのお客様は乗車券を拝見いたしますのでご用意ください。
So going downhill, but you can see that's just a little hump
この
there.
電車をお降りの際に目的地までの乗車券を発売いたします。Please change here for Yasei Liaison
Uphill. Mark though. See, it didn't look marked. Back downhill again. Ooh, too fast.
Please watch your step when you leave the train. 八瀬比叡山口方面は2番線からの電車にお乗り換えください。IC カードをご
Quite
利用
early,
のお
too.
客様は乗り換え先のホームでも IC カード読み取り機にタッチしてください。The train bound for Yasei Liaison-guchi departs from track number 2.
Shit. Way too fucking. Damn, I fucked that one up. We'll see if that messes up my final total. I didn't realize I was still. I thought I was slowing down. And it's like, oh no, I'm still hauling ass. Shuga Queen, 36. Take it a little bit easier on this section. Everything else has been like a slam dunk so far, so we don't need to be worried about one section throwing off the entire run. 34 in this, Shuga Queen. That's 36. Whoa. So I just look over and I'm not paying attention to my speed at all. Keep your eye on the ball, or in this case, the track. What awaits you at the end? Cold bottle of Mukicha. Because you know what? It's summertime. You know what's good when it's hot? Barley tea. Keep you cool. Tastes good. Alright, so we got a good bit of time.
留学園です
Don't want to. They're too slow though. 30 seconds going in, yeah. Let's coast right now. That'll work. Good enough. All right, Ichioji. Or Ichijoji. I always not Ichioji, it's Ichijoji. Not to be confused with Kichijoji. That's in a completely different area. I don't know how many different Kichijojis. Like, you'll hear some like, oh, it's off the Tama River. I'm like, yeah, which one?
次は一乗寺です
Right, yeah, Ichijoji, 36 is our average.
Station number E04 お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage.
Thanks, game. We're going just fine. Perfectly okay. Under a minute to the station. Heading back into the city. Drop some of that speed. Too many people. Says the person driving a train. Good. Very good. Okay. Next up, Chayama. 36 in this section too.
The next station is Chayama. Station number E03. お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです Please exit from the door on the front left of the first carriage.
I have to make sure to remind myself when I start playing Real Pro, I should get all the same information down for that too. Get all the averages, get distances between sections. I have all that information available to me. It's nice to have it. This time get the station numbers. Ooh, way off. Going uphill in this section? No, it's downhill. I don't know why I was so coming in so slow. Almost another perfect again. All right, Moto Tanaka, 34 for this section as the average. Almost to the home station. Whoops. Wrong button. I don't know how I confuse those. Short distance on this section of track too.
Is Moto Tanaka. Station number E02. お出口は前の車両一番前の左側ドアです。Please exit
Ah,
from
that's
the
gonna
door
kill the
on the
power.
left of the first carriage.
Ah. Love how it looks at dusk. Fucking beautiful. You know how to get that good feeling inside my body? Phew. Show me this. That's what I'm talking about. What we call. So that station really sneaks up on you because it looks like it's much further away. And it's not. Another 25 seconds. Slow down. We got time to spare. Except when I realize that I'm just off the mark a little bit. There we go. That's good. All right, into Demachi Yanagi. Just under a kilometer. 32 is the average as we pull into the home station. Should hit us with a couple of speed limits going into that station too. When you're pulling out of it, going up the mountain, either direction, it's like 25 to leave the station for most of it, so you kind of almost have to pick up the pace once you're out of the station to make up on that time.
Tickets will be collected at the station. Please exit from a nearby door.
Shit. Panic there for a second. I was just watching that climb. I'm like, oh no! Not at the end. We're moving too slow. Motherfucker, I'm gonna have to slow down in like 200 meters anyways. Don't tell me to speed up now. Doing 30, we're about to hit downhill. We're gonna have to control speed coming in anyways. Yeah, see? Big drop in speed. You can kind of make it up on the way in, but like, you're still gonna have to drop a shitload of speed no matter what. And it's downhill coming in, so you're always constantly gaining just a teeny bit. Track change. I thought we were doing track change. Drop down to 15.
京阪電車はお乗り換えです。お忘れ物をなさいませんようご注意ください。京阪電車をご利用いただきましてありがとうございました。We will
Track change.
soon be arriving at Demachi Yanagi Terminal. Please change here for the Keihan Railway. Thank you for traveling with us. 乗車券、乗車駅証明書。
Wait,
運賃は
too fucking
駅で
fast.
回収いたしますので
But good distance, good everything. 1B. That's a master ranking on that one. Good. That's what I needed. 2 more of those and that'll give me that trophy. New document unlocked. Well, let's go look at the new stuff we unlocked. I think we unlocked like several books just off of getting... I need to reposition myself. I'm sitting cross-legged right now, and that was a bad idea. Thank you for playing. To acknowledge your outstanding driving skills, you've received the title Azon Master. We hope to see you on the real Azon Railway someday. The scenery and places from this game are waiting for you. Have fun on your next journey. I almost made it there, game. Thanks for reminding me, though. Yeah, 1B. That's kind of what I figured. Like, most of those stops were good. I think that one at the end would have been an A. The one I really fucked up on, I was like, oh shit, that's going to ruin the whole run, except it didn't. That was definitely a B. Because I was too fast, way off on the stop. To the point where I think I made it on time, and the time was fine, but it was the stop distance that would have thrown it off, and I would have missed both check marks on that, and that would have put you into B territory. It's nice to be playing this again. It's been a while. Not that. You get some moments where you're like, oh shit. You get a little teeny bits of stress, little helpful bits. Keep you on your toes, but for the most part, #1. Easy breezy. Nice and relaxing. And there's the Momiji Tunnel in summer. You can see that and you're like, oh, it's pretty. And then you're like, oh God, if I was outside this train, I'd be sweating my ass off, until you realize you'd be in the train where it's cooler and still sweating your ass off because it's summertime. All right, so what did we unlock? It's probably in the Kurama line book, because yeah, everything else in Japanese Rail Sim we unlocked, I believe. Oh wait, no. It would be in that one, because we already unlocked everything here, because we've done all of the points. It is in this one. New 800 series DO 800 type. Azon Electric Railway 800 series DO 800 type. The DO 800 type first appeared in October 1990. It was the railway's first two-car train, and 2 of these trains are currently in use. Good. That's a good face on the cover. Or on the front. Aden. Both trains have a cobalt blue line resembling the Kamo River, and another one that is different for each train. The second line on the 801 to 851 train is green, resembling the mountains, while the 802 to 852 is pink, reminiscent of Kurama's cherry blossoms. And there's your stuff there. Oh, it's different weights per train, per cars. Okay. It says 801 and 802. I'm assuming. Oh, those would be the. Since they'd be 2-car configurations, I believe, anyways. Or not. Actually, never mind. It'd be 2-car configurations, but one's always going to be the rear, one's going to be the front. But depending upon which way you go, it changes, obviously. That's why the end cars are always basically the same. Although that is kind of interesting that there's like a point. Let's see. What would be point? What would 1/3 of a ton would be? 300 pounds? Where are they putting tonnage there and not like kilograms? Although it'd be kind of, I don't know. So using meters, but I'm like, tons are tons used in metric? 15.7 meters for length, width of 2.69 meters, and a height 4.23 meters for the 801 and 802, and 4.005 meters for the 851 and 852. 45 seats, they can fit 108 persons. Obviously, a lot of people are going to have to fucking stand, but you can pack these motherfuckers full of people. And yeah, 331 tons for the older one, for the lower end of the series, and then higher end is just ever so slightly heavier. And the wheel truck. Those I don't know a whole lot about. I want to say that's like, what'd they call it? Call it the truck. Oh, there's another term. Shit. Because I've heard it used in British terms. Hold on. Train, wheel, truck. What else do they call that? Called trucks. Bogies. That's what they call them in the US. I've heard it referred to as a bogie quite a few times. Okay. Former name, Yamabana Station. Takara Gaike Station is, Aden fun facts. Yeah, Takaragaike Station is where the Eizan line splits into the Eizan line and Kurama line. The former name of Takaragaike Station is Yamabana Station. This name originates from the mountainous region southwest of the station. In 1925, Kyoto Dental, sorry, just breaking my concentration. The precedent, I don't think that's the term they want to use there. The president of Eizan Electric Railway began operating the station, naming it Yamabana Station. The name changed in 1954 to the name of the nearby lake, Takaragaike. Old handwritten signs of Yamabana Station are on display on platforms 2 and 3 of the station. And the remains of a low platform, used for the former Kyoto streetcar, still provides a glimpse into the past at platform 4. That's actually kind of big for a station on this line. Because even some larger railways, they might have, they might just have the two sides. Like you get later into some of the smaller, like local stops only Odakyu trains, and it's like you have a platform on either side, and you might have a single building to come into, and then you'd have the staircases that would lead to either side, because some of them are elevated, as opposed to you go into like Eiko Ishida, where you'll have different things. Actually, that one's only got two on the side, but some of the really big ones, you go into Tokyo, Shibuya Station, I want to say, with a lot of those, you'll have multiple platforms, and you'll just have island platforms that go through there, and you might have like fucking 8 or 10 of them. They're humongous. And the Daito 1000 type, that looks like a fucking, that doesn't even look like a commuter train. It looks like yeah, it is freight. The Daito 1000 type refers to one-car train number 1001, an open-top electric freight wagon made in February 1974. The freight car was used for reusing the control device and bogie of the 600 type Kyoto tram, and started with a trolley collector for collecting current, but later switched to a pantograph collector. The train was used for maintenance work moving wood, stone, or with a trolley attached, railway tracks. 10.7 meters, 2.463 meters for the width, 4.23 meters for the height. Carries a payload of 10 tons, and it weighs 12 tons. That's a big boy. I mean, it's not like massive in terms of size. Yeah, what was the, my phone's plugged in. There was one, I'll have to post it later in the Discord. There was a Japan Rail freight car I kept seeing, at least on the Negishi line, going like north and south before. I mean, if you're going like north towards, from Ishikawa-cho to like Kannai up towards Yokohama, that's, I mean, at Yokohama it turns into the Keihin Tohoku line, but you would see them every so often. I think they were like Blue Thunder or something cool like that, but you don't see a lot of those. Ah, there we go. Former train, Dena. I was going to say Dena. Memories of the past. Former train, Dena 21 type. The Dena 21 type train, which had 10 trains running at its peak, was made by Kyoto Dento and Kurama Electric Railway, the precedents for the Eizan and Kurama lines. From its 1929 debut until its farewell in November 1994, the trains transported many passengers and railway fans for 65 years. I'm loving the photos of those. Beautiful. That has been out of service for 30 years. I'm hoping there's one that you can see somewhere. In 1987, parts of the Dena 23 and Dena 24 trains were used to build the Deo 710 type trains, and the front and wheels of the train are kept and displayed at Kurama Station to this day. Oh, that's good. That's actually up at the top, so that means there's some cool shit to check out up there. 14. Ooh. Yeah, 2 trains, 14. If you probably, I would imagine the length would have to be the. Maybe it is just a car. 14 meters. I mean, what is 14 meters? And change things over here. 14 meters in feet. 45 feet. That probably would be just the car by itself. One car. Yeah. 2.59 meters in width and 4.23 meters in height. That's right, because that got turned into, maybe I mentioned that. 30 tons, big boy. Big old heavy trains. The 710 was the They show the 710? No. The 1000 was the freight car. Okay. So yeah, two more runs I have to do on that, and I'll save those for a different stream. And those should be pretty easy to finish off and get master ranking on. And that would unlock the rest of these, and that would unlock everything for the books. Which means I need to run some sections on my own in section mode until I hit that. Complete those last two full runs to complete that, and then obviously free mode, just haul ass until it fucking unlocks. And then at that point, I'll finally have the platinum trophies. It's not a question of if I can get it. It is a question of when I will have everything finished off. But that's going to be it for tonight, because I got started kind of late. So I went out, and I don't know why I decided to go for a walk in 108-degree weather, but I was just like, I don't want to sit here, and I knew I had to stream tonight, but that's fine. I figured I would still go get something else done, and I still managed to stream tonight. So that's good. And get some stuff done. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I will be trying to get some editing work done there. So I have an introduction video I need to get done for the Yokohama series. I won't put that as a premiere, but that'll just be in the playlist and out there. Mainly going over, here's what we're doing in the series, and here's how I'm kind of approaching it. And, you know, here's why I'm using this footage instead of this game, because this is newer. Nothing too crazy. Should be only a few minutes in length, but yeah. Make more of a big harangue about that in like a few days, but that first episode goes live on the 22nd. It will be a premiere, and hopefully I'll see you guys there, because there'll be live chat and everything, man. But we'll be back on Thursday, probably to start Super Mario RPG. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to play it on RetroArch, because I have that set up, and I think I finally have the Switch SNES controller working fine with that. But I also have my SNES Classic out too, and that'll run it. So I guess it's just more flip a coin and figure out what the hell I want to run it on. PC might win out, but we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Thanks everyone for sticking around and hanging out. Hope you guys had fun, had some chill times. And we will see you again on Thursday. Until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a very good Wednesday. And we'll see you all next time. Stay safe, stay well, watch out for weirdos, and have a very good night. See y'all later.
Hi, Duke. Oh, listen, I just wanted to say goodbye and remind you that the good guys always win, even in the 80s.